Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Tiger fans? How are we doing today? It is, as I look out the window, it's pretty gray and cold and nasty outside. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it at all. I am very much, if you can't tell, a summer baseball guy. I miss the warmth, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really missing the warmth right now. And it's mid-November, and I'm already talking like this. Buckle up, Tony. It's only going to get worse from here throughout the next number of months here in Detroit, Michigan. Buckle up, Tony. So yeah, this is all to say, I miss summer. I miss baseball. So as a way to help me kind of think happier thoughts with regards to warm weather in baseball, let's talk a little Tigers baseball in this video. Some big news involving the Detroit Tigers as Gleyber Torres is accepting his qualifying offer, and he is coming back to the Tigers for the 2026 season. I definitely feel like this is worthy to talk about in a video, so let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Gleyber Torres coming back to the Detroit Tigers for the 2026 season. But first of all, though, please give me a quick minute to take care of some business, and then after we do that, I promise we will then talk about Gleyber Torres returning to the Detroit Tigers for 2026. First of all, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Michigan-based Roast Summer Coffee. A lot of you already know the routine by now, but just in case you don't, hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Fun fact, I actually got my very own Roast Summer Coffee right here with me, my Pistons coffee mug. Shout out to the Pistons, by the way. 12-2, 10-game win streak, the first seed in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons are balling to start this NBA season. We absolutely love to see it, man. But yeah, you know, I feel like you should definitely, if you enjoy hot coffee, you should definitely get yourself some Roast Umber ground coffee to make yourself, get yourself a nice warm cup of coffee to enjoy on a cold winter's day like this. It's not even winter yet. Why am I talking like it's the middle of like January or something? It's mid-November. Calm down, Tony. But regardless, what I'm trying to say here, yeah, visit our website, roastsummer.com. Links in the description below. If you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on your order by using my code TonyD. Shout out to Roast Summer. Thank you once again for that response to this video. I apologize for going on that long-winded rant there during that sponsorship read. Nonetheless, though, yeah, shout out to Roast Summer. And also, if you all please do me a favor, leave a like on this one. Hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a bunch. It would help out the channel a bunch. And it would put a smile on my face. I would really appreciate if you take a few seconds, hit like, hit subscribe. If you do that, I'll very much appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, that takes care of the quick business I need to take care of. Let's not talk about Gleyber Torres coming back to the Tigers for 2026. Welcome back, Gleyber. Welcome back, Gleyber Torres. I'm happy with this, man. I honestly am. I'm happy to see Gleyber accept his QO and come back to the Tigers for 2026. You know, let me start by saying this. This doesn't surprise me at all. This honestly does not surprise me to see Gleyber accept his QO and come back to the Tigers for 2026. It doesn't surprise me, and I'm sure it doesn't surprise a lot of other Tiger fans. I think this was something a lot of us were expecting. This is something that I was definitely expecting. You know, I tried to put myself in Gleyber's shoes leading up to this decision on Tuesday afternoon. If I was Gleyber Torres, I would have done just this. I would have accepted the QO and come back to the Tigers for 2026. Because my thing behind that is, like, listen, Gleyber has made it very clear. I mean, he made it clear last winter he wanted a multi-year deal. Didn't get it. That's what led him to come into Detroit on that one-year prove-it deal. He made it clear once again this winter. His camp made it clear that he wanted another multi-year deal this winter once again. But let's be honest here, he probably wasn't going to get that this winter coming off the hernia surgery and the overall tough second half of the season for Gleyber Torres. You know, if he was healthy all of 2025 and put up numbers throughout the entire season like we saw in the first half of 2025, then yes, Gleyber probably would have gotten a multi-year deal this winter that he is looking for. But again, because of that tough second half, which we found out after the Game 5 loss in Seattle, is because of that hernia injury that resulted in off-season surgery for him. It was hard for me to envision a team was going to give Gleyber the multi-year deal that he was looking for coming off that tough second half and coming off that hernia injury that resulted in the surgery. You know, that was kind of my thinking behind that. So again, if I was Gleyber Torres, another part of my thinking here is, all right, if no one's going to give me a multi-year deal that I'm looking for this winter, take the QO, come back to the Tigers on another 1-year prove-it deal, come back to this competitive baseball team, what's hopefully going to be a competitive baseball team in 2026, with hopefully Tara Scoop on the team as well, but that's a discussion for a different video. Nonetheless, come back to this baseball team, come back to a competitive team, hopefully in 2026, come back to a team that you had success with when healthy in the first half of the 2025 season, notably, being the starting second baseman for the American League in the 2025 All-Star Game. Come back to this competitive team. Come back to a team he had success with when healthy in the first half of 2025. Come back to a clubhouse that he is familiar and comfortable with. He's back with his boy Hobby for another season. Yeah, man. This is all to say, again, if I was Gleyber Torres, I would have done just this. Take the QO, come back to the Tigers, 1-year prove-it deal once again to prove the teams that he is healthy and he is ready to get that multi-year contract that he is looking for. That's what I would have done if I was Gleyber. I feel like a lot of other Tiger fans were feeling the exact same way with regards to Gleyber and this QO decision for him. And that's exactly what happened, man. Gleyber is back for the Tigers for the 2026 season. As I talked about already earlier in the video, and we'll talk more about it right now, I'm happy with this. I'm honestly happy to see Gleyber come back to the Tigers for 2026. I like Gleyber a lot, man. I really do. Not only does he seem like a really cool guy and just a cool guy to have in that clubhouse, when he was healthy in the first half of 2025, he was good for us, man. He really was. It's not an accident that he was the starting second baseman for the AL in the 2025 All-Star Game. Not just that, he was voted in, obviously, too, as the starter at second base for the 2025 All-Star Game for the American League. That wasn't by accident. He was really good for us when healthy in the first half of 2025. Yes, as we know, the second half of the season wasn't great, but again, as we found out after our season ended, Game 5 in Seattle, Gleyber said that's because he was hurt. He was playing through the hernia issue throughout the second half of the season, which, by the way, speaking of that, have you ever had a hernia issue? Those hurt, man. Those really hurt. I give Gleyber a ton of credit. I give him a ton of credit for trying to play through that, man. Finding out he was playing through that specific injury throughout the season, yeah, man, when I first heard that, I was like, all right, well, that makes sense. It definitely makes sense why you were struggling so much in the second half of the season. Trying to play through that injury specifically, man, those hurt, man. So, again, I give Gleyber a ton of credit for trying to play through that injury for sure. But nonetheless, what I was trying to say here, go back to my original point. He was really good for us in the first half of the season when he was healthy. If he's healthy all of 2026 and puts up numbers throughout the entire season like we saw in the first half of the 2025 season, that's going to mean good things for the 2026 Detroit Tigers, and that's obviously going to mean really good things long-term for Gleyber Torres as well. If he has a good season, I imagine that'll mean good things for Gleyber with regards to getting that multi-year deal that he's been looking for throughout the past 2 off seasons or so. So, yeah, man, all in all, ladies and gentlemen, this is all to say, again, me as a Tigers fan, I'm happy to get Gleyber Torres back. He's great for us in the first half of 2025. If he is healthy throughout the entirety of 2026, fingers crossed, knock on wood, my desk is right here, knocking on wood that he is healthy throughout 2026. If he's healthy and puts up the numbers like we saw in the first half of 2025, all of 2026, that'll be awesome, man. It'll be awesome for the Tigers. It'll be awesome for Gleyber as he continues to look for that multi-year deal that we all hope he eventually gets. So, yeah, I'm happy with this. I know a lot of other Tiger fans are happy to see Gleyber back with the 2026 Tigers. Let's go, Gleyber. Welcome back, buddy. Now, I will say, though, on the flip side, now, what I'm about to say is a good problem to have, but at the same time, while I am happy to get Gleyber back, and while a lot of us are happy to get Gleyber back for 2026, I will say, though, again, really good problem to have if you're the Tigers, but this might or might not create a bit of a logjam in the infield for the 2026 Tigers. Torres a lock at first base, Gleyber's now a lock at second base. A lot of guys potentially can play shortstop. You have your Hobbies of the world, maybe a Kevin McGonigal as well. He's probably going to be up here with the 2026 Tigers at some point. He could definitely play some shortstop. Trey Sweeney maybe, McKinstry. There's a lot of different guys that could play shortstop. There's a lot of guys that could play second base too, notably Cole Keefe. He's going to need someone to play in 2026. Kevin McGonigal once again could also play some second base. Some other prospects like Max Anderson, Hyu Lee, who are knocking on the door, and we might see in the Old English D as soon as 2026 that they could also potentially play some second base. Third base is up in the air as well. You hope that's maybe going to be one of our big fish free agent signings, whether that's maybe Alex Bregman, Bo Bichette, someone along those lines. This is all to say we have a lot of guys that we need to potentially play in the infield of 2026. Torque is a lock at first base. Gleyber's a lock at second base. It's really just shortstop that's kind of up in the air, because let's play a hypothetical and say we get Alex Bregman, we get Bo Bichette, and put him at third base. Well, let's say specifically Alex Bregman, okay? Let's say hypothetically the Tigers sign Alex Bregman this offseason. Torque is a lock at first base. Gleyber's a lock at second base. Alex Bregman's going to be a lock at third base. It's really just shortstop that's up in the air. We have so many guys that we need to figure out where they're going in the infield defensively for the 2026 season. Notably, Cole Keith, Kevin McGonigal, again, maybe some other prospects that we might see in 2026, like Max Anderson, Hyu Lee, so on and so forth. So this is all to say, while I am happy to get Gleyber Torres back for 2026, this might or might not create a bit of a logjam for the Tigers in the infield in 2026, because we have so many guys that we might need to potentially play somewhere defensively in that infield for the 2026 season, and we really don't know where they might go because there's only so few positions available right now. Because again, Torque is a lock at first base. Gleyber's a lock now at second base. Third base could be a lock if we hypothetically get like an Alex Bregman, which, I'm sure this might be a talking point with Tiger fans as well now that Gleyber's officially back. What I have seen, what I have read, I don't think this is going to alter the Tigers' plans about getting maybe an Alex Bregman this offseason, maybe getting a Bo Bichette this offseason. I don't think getting Gleyber back, and again, going back to the conversation of maybe this creates a logjam now for the 2026 Tigers defensively in that infield. I don't think Gleyber back is really going to impact the Tigers' potential plans to address the offense and particularly maybe address third base in their interest in getting a guy like Alex Bregman. As a matter of fact, I just read an article, which I'm sure a lot of you read as well, from Jeff Passan, saying that the Tigers are going to be in the sweepstakes again for Alex Bregman. So yeah, I don't think getting Gleyber Torres back is going to impact the Tigers' plans about maybe going after Alex Bregman. That's what I'm trying to say here, I got kind of off track there. My apologies for that. The point of what I'm trying to say here, the point of all this rambling and me spewing a bunch of words, going back to my original point I was trying to make, getting Gleyber back could potentially create a bit of a logjam for the Tigers defensively in that infield for 2026, because, now second base is on lock along with first base and potentially third base if we get an Alex Bregman or someone like that. There's so many guys we need to play, and there's only so few positions available, So, yeah. Maybe this creates a logjam for the Tigers in 2026 defensively in that infield. I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out. This is why Scott Harris, Jeff Greenberg, Adrian Hinch and company made the big bucks and not me, because I don't know how I would really handle this if I was in their shoes. I have no idea what I would do to try to get playing time for your top prospect, Kevin McGonigal, literally one of the top prospects in all of baseball. I don't know what you do to try to figure out where's Cole Keith going to go full time, if anywhere defensively. Maybe he's just a DH now going forward. I really don't know. But yeah, if it was me, I would have no idea where to put Cole Keith and McGonigal and Anderson if we see him, and Hyu Lee, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, this is all to say, man, long story short, maybe this creates a logjam for the Tigers, as I talked about a million times already. But we'll see. It will be definitely interesting to see how it all unfolds. But I guess that's a potential problem for another day for the 2026 Detroit Tigers. Nonetheless, though, the point of this video, I'll say it one more time here as we close things out in this one. Gleyber Torres is back, and I'm a happy Tigers fan with that. Welcome back, Gleyber Torres. All right. That's all I got for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you, as always. My fellow Tiger fans, how are you feeling about this news? Leave it down there in the comments down below. I read each and every comment. I try to respond to as many as possible. So, yeah, I would love to see how you are feeling about Gleyber Torres coming back to the Tigers for 2026. So I got for you in this one. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you as always. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one. Hit that subscribe button. It would help me out. It would help the channel out. I very much appreciate it. It will put a smile on my face when this wintry Michigan weather is doing the complete opposite of that. So yeah, hit like, hit subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one, Tigers fans. As always, go Tigers, baby.